Hey guys, my name is Anton Januska. I'm an Angular developer, and I was the developer that developed most of the Angular JS for Foundation for Apps. I made a video, I think a couple of weeks ago. It was an hour long. It was kind of weird because I was basically doing everything uh, you know, right there. I was live coding and made a lot of mistakes, so I wanted to kind of fix that up, not get distracted as much, and show you some really cool features of Foundation for Apps. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you something. So last time I built a kind of blog and it looked kind of weird. It wasn't the best idea, to be honest, and I don't think I even have a copy of it anymore. So this time I wanted to build something that's more product-like. A blog isn't really product-like. I kind of did only the most rudimentary things, showed off a few directives. This time I want to do something a little bit better. So let me show you what we will be building, and you can kind of make up your mind as to, like, is this worth it? Should I even watch this video? So let's go ahead and check that out. I'm going to go ahead and open up another tab. Tests. All right. For those wondering, I am on a Windows computer. I think I'm the only developer that's actually working on a Windows machine. I love Windows. I also like Linux a lot, so I'm not really, I guess, biased either way. I'm not a big fan of OS X, don't like the UI, but that's a whole other conversation. Okay, successfully built. Let's check this out. And so this is kind of what we'll be building. It'll look a little bit better than that because I've already made this video before, but the audio cut out, so I basically spent an hour or an hour and a half working on it, and then I played it back and I'm like, this audio is really quiet. Anyway, so we'll be building this kind of simple product site. It doesn't look like much, but this is what I can do within an hour, so that's kind of cool. An hour and explaining things and trying not to mess up anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and oh, don't mind these emails. Create a new app called My Product 3. Now there's a new version of Foundation for Apps coming out probably next week, possibly early next year if things get kind of pushed back. It's version 1.1. I did a lot of refactoring as far as the Angular goes. It's more of the application is more of well, you can use Foundation more as a dependency now, and you can kind of pick and choose. I think my cam froze. Yeah, you can kind of pick and choose all the different modules that you want to work with. Dependencies are better resolved, and everything's up to new standards. So that's kind of cool. Oh, this is taking a while. So in the meantime, I guess since we're waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my website. Shameless plug. It's my video. I get to plug in whatever I want. I will be posting more videos on here. You can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, I guess. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. Yeah. So this is gonna install. Almost there. Okay. So one thing I'll be doing is I'm actually going to be using a newer version of Foundation Apps template. I have a branch open and ready called v11, and v11 obviously updates the Bower JSON, whatever. It also offloads the app.js to the client instead of being part of the dependency, and changes up the gulp file a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my product 3. The Foundation for Apps CLI, the basis of it is basically cloning this template and just doing a Bower and npm install. We're going to change a few things around. I would like to, by the time you see this video or whatever, you might be already on 1.1. So go ahead and don't worry about some of these changes. I'm doing these for the sake of the video, and so that the video is more up to date. Might as well look forward to the future than mess around with the past. Okay, got that. Gotta update the gulp file. our components, foundation apps, JS, Angular, app.js. I believe that's correct. Next thing is partials. So some of the folders have changed from version 1 to 1.1. For example, there's no partials folder, it's all components. And I'll go ahead and show you the structure once I'm done. Components, yeah, it seems to be let me change. And client. So this is all prep that you guys are not going to have to do by the time you see this video. But if you want to go ahead and work on version 1.1, this is kind of the process that you can do, just basically copy and pasting all this stuff. Oh, and let me update the foundation apps. In case you didn't know, you can actually paste in a URL to a zip file for Bower the JSON, and so you can like pull in all these custom dependencies if you want. Okay, yeah, that should have worked. Cool. And I'm gonna restart it. Oh, can go back to my initial window. Oh, well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, and the wrong product. Okay. I already have 3 of these folders, so I've done this 3 times already. So I think I need better recording software. Okay, while this is happening, I'm gonna go ahead and start some of the work so we can do more things at once. Async, right? JavaScript. So one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and change the home page, and I'm gonna add something nifty, and that's a title. So we have all these different templates, and we can our dynamic router like puts all these together and extracts all this information from there. And one of the things we can add is all kinds of cool stuff like metadata, like title, even mock data, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a little bit. I wanted to create an FAQ page. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and change something over here. Oh yeah, so I wanna have a dynamic title. What I'm gonna do is do an ng bind current, and I think it's bars title. Let's see. Okay, maybe that's not it. All right. I'm looking at a earlier iteration of this project to see what I did. Ng bind data. Ah, that's what it is. That's what I forgot. So I found out that state is actually a kind of globally available object, and so you can do cool stuff like this. And see right here, home. Cool. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to change up the homepage. You know, any product homepage is going to look a little bit different than this, and we're going to create an application called StarStream Analytics. Why StarStream? Because I found a really cool stock image that'll work for a lot of our mockups. So I'm going to go ahead and call it that. We have a title, H1, and what I'm going to do is actually create these neat cards to show off our pricing. Cards. And you can see them right over here. And they're really cool, and I think that that will work really well. So we're going to go ahead and want these in a grid. So we're going to do a div class grid block. And what you can do with Flexbox is you can actually specify how many blocks you want in a grid, so that instead of having to do, you know, medium 4 on each of the grid contents, you can actually just specify on the parent like, hey, I only want 3 in a row. And when I found out about that, I'm like, oh, this is so cool, because then it doesn't matter how many columns you have. Flexbox is always going to make sure that it's 3 in a row or 2 in a row or whatever. And you can see it right over here. They're actually using medium up 5. So for sizes medium, or medium up 3, for sizes that are medium and bigger, according to the breakpoints, there's going to be 3 in a row. If not, they have a small up 2, and that means that it will go to 2. And I like that. I don't want 2 though, so I'm going to do actually small up 3. No, medium up 3 is good. And we're going to create a card. We're going to do class grid content. Grid contents are basically the individual columns. And we're going to throw a card in there. The class card. And we're going to create an image, or use an image for the top. And this was actually kind of the interesting part about my original project right over here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy an image that I saved and got ready for all this. And yes, I'm going through the UE instead of using the CLI because I don't feel like trying to hunt this stuff down and copy and paste it and do all this other crap. Client, assets, images, yeah, we have a star field. And it's a free stock image. I'll show you guys where I got it from. Cool, so now we have that image available. This is what we used. Div class, what was it? Section? Card section, yeah. Card section. Price BGR left. What this is basically an empty div that we're going to apply a background to. See, you can use you have like a specific app.css that you can use for your own specific styles, and I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. Price background. If I just left that div empty, it would have no height, so it would basically just not show up, and there would be no background. So let's specify a height. It will be 150 pixels. We're going to do a background, and the background image actually, and it's going to be in assets, images, and star field.jpg. And I guess that should be fine for now. I'm using a Sass linter, and because I'm using JRuby, every single time I save, it goes through Java to get back and tell me if I have any errors. So you're gonna see some like weird times when it's gonna freeze up for a second. All right, so we have a background image. Next, I wanted to create this cool background class that's gonna do this. Left, right, and center. Now, something I didn't know is in Sass, you can do, I knew you could do an ampersand and let's say do hover, right? Or ampersand dot. So that meant that, you know, you should put those two classes or those two selectors together as if there was no space between them. I didn't know you could do that with dashes as well and other characters. So this is kind of cool. And I wanted to do a background position, left, center. I hope that's right. I don't work much with CSS. I prefer JavaScript and backend stuff. I used to work with CSS all the time. So you might see me doing kind of some stupid stuff like this. Let's see how this looks like so far. All right, we have a star field. Nice. It doesn't entirely look right, so I might have done something wrong here. Oh, it's still being compiled, whatever. Okay, so right after we have our star field, we definitely want to let people know how much our product costs, because this is our price sheet. So we'll do class card divider. And we're going to say it's a basic package, and it's going to be $9 a month. Cool. And then we're going to have another section. And this section is going to go ahead and tell us that, you know, some libsum, so yeah, So this is our base package. Get it because it's awesome. We're also going to want to have a list of features. And what we can do for a list of features is we can use a grid or block list. These are block lists, and I really like block lists, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Section class block list. And see, you can go ahead and start stringing together all these different Foundation for Apps components and build out an actual like CSS components or components for your prototype. Header, features, and it's going to be a list, and it's going to be test 1. I don't feel like writing out a bunch of features. Cool. And then we're gonna want to have a button. So let's do a p class text center. So there's a utility class that'll center your text, and we're gonna do a useref. Okay. And now, actually, let's do ahref. I'll show you guys how to do a sign up later. And let me sign up. Oops, and it should be a button. Class button primary. Cool. Let's see how all of this looks so far. Nice. So that looks pretty cool. The list is a little bit tight on the sides here. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to go ahead and change that out. I'm going to go ahead and add another class, and I'm going to call this instead of block list, it'll be like feature list. Yeah, let's do that. And we're going to create this here, the feature list. And it's a UL. And let's do a padding of 0.5. Oh, not margin. Margin left will be 5 pixels, and margin right will be 5 pixels. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So because of my linter, I'm going to go ahead and use two separate command line tabs to process like SAS and to do some other changes. So it looks a little bit better. I would like it still a little bit tighter, so I'm going to go ahead and change the 5 to 10. And while that's happening, I'm gonna do something really cool here. So you know how I said that you can add all this cool metadata up top right over here? So this follows the YAML syntax. You can add all kinds of cool stuff, and it'll be available for you on the page itself under vars. So you can do vars.name, and you'll get the home from here. We're gonna go ahead and do prices, and we're gonna create something really cool. We're gonna create 3 different price sheets, and they're gonna be in an array. So we already have an array here, and we're gonna use those to mock up our data. So we have our price sheet. We'll call this basic, advanced, and enterprise. I never know how to spell enterprise. Anyway, and so basic is going to have price, which will be 9. It'll also have a background position, which will be left. We can also color our cards, and I want to go ahead and do that. And so I'll go ahead and do this one for dark, because I kind of like that. And let's see, what else can we add to here? I think that's good. And I'm going to copy that, paste it here. And because I don't want to deal with some stupid stuff in terms of like iterating, whatever, I'm going to go ahead and copy the name as well. Name advanced. Name enterprise. And that should be it. Cool. And what I'm going to do is do an ng repeat. So this is kind of like the way you can take advantage of Angular's built-in functions and built-in functionality in order to make your prototype better, or easier to make actually. And we're going to do card.price here. vars dot, and sorry for lack of spaces, name. Oops. Position is going to be here, so card. And don't lecture me on ng class. I know I can do this with ng class, but I just don't really feel like that is necessary. And, oh, where do we add the color? Div class. Okay, so I need to put that with with card. So it'll be here. Card.color. So we have all these. Is there something I'm forgetting? Card.name. I feel like that's all of it. So let's see how that's gonna work out. I might possibly get some hiccups. What happened? I crashed it. Sweet. All right. Just to make sure I got this right, I'm gonna go ahead and check out my my previous iteration of this. I really hate live coding, and I'm getting more and more into it. So yeah, so that should be correct. Still failed. It's probably because of this. Yeah, that should be it. Oh, and let me change the colors as well. So our middle package is going to be our most wanted. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to go ahead and make it red. The color for red is alert. Kind of makes sense. It's going to be $15 a month, and our enterprise is going to be $200 because who doesn't like random price jumps? Damn it! What is happening here? Vars dot. Oh, it's not called cards. It's prices. Okay. My bad, guys. There. Check that shit out. Isn't that awesome? Background left. So all of these are getting a background left. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. So left one will be left, middle one will be center, and the right one will be right. Cool. And so you can kind of see that it's coming together. It looks like the CSS, I messed something up that, oh, there we go, yeah. Oh, crap. That the feature list, or the price list was getting the wrong styling. So let's see if we can fix that up. No? Feature list, UL, feature list. So what's going on here? Feature list is not showing up. How come? That feature list, margin left. Feature, did I spell it right? Feature list. Why is it not showing up? Let's do this. To save myself some headache, I'm gonna go ahead and oh, this is the wrong one. Alright, that's better. Okay. So I added a margin left and right for both of these. So it looks pretty cool, right, guys? And you get to have some like dynamic information here, you know, and you can keep building this out for more like price packages, and you can do just more and more stuff with it. Cool. So we've covered the cards, we've covered the homepage. Let's move on to the FAQ. And I want to change the menu up here as well because we're not going to have any of those pages. So FAQ. Let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to show you guys something else that's pretty cool. So we're going to do a grid block, And this time I'm gonna go ahead and, since I'm gonna have uneven columns here, I'm gonna go ahead and size these how I want to specifically. And again, I'm gonna go refer to my old project. And here's grid content medium 8. So let's make sure that under the medium size, it'll have 8 columns. So it's kind of like the traditional naming, but it's not really, you don't really have columns with Flexbox. And we're gonna create an accordion. So ZF accordion. And what we're gonna do is use some really cool features that come with accordion. So accordion has some options to it. There's an auto open, collapsible, and multi-open. I'm gonna go ahead and actually apply all of those. I want auto open false. Auto open is an option that allows you to, whenever the accordion is rendered, it'll show the first item opened, like right over here. When you have auto open false, it's gonna keep everything closed, and that's kind of what I want. Collapsible, true. Collapsible means that whenever you open an item, by clicking on it again, it'll close it. Right over here, you can see it's not collapsible. It's kind of like a tab. You know, you can only have one open at a time. But I want to be able to click off and click back on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this multi-open as well. Multi-open basically means that, you know, just like you had the tabs right over here, only one can be open. Here, you can have as many as you want. Cool. CF accordion item. Title is going to be, what does this app do? And again, I should be able to do this, I should be able to use ng-repeat and get all these items added, you know, via the front matter, but I'm going to go ahead and write this out. And h4, oh, not h4, nothing. Gonna be honest with our users. This app doesn't do anything. Don't you wish you had that kind of honesty with real startups? Oh, this app doesn't really do anything. It's broken. Does it? It doesn't help you. And how can I subscribe? You can't. Let's see what this looks like. So I don't have any links to FAQ yet, so I'm gonna have to go there manually. Oh. Oh, I wanted multi-open, true. Sorry about that, guys. Should be updated. All right, cool. So that works for me. In the other, the other side of the page on the right, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a sign up. Here is my marketing copy, because everybody needs sidebars with call to actions. Cool. Well, let's go back home. So that's basically the accordion. It's much simpler than trying to hook it up with you know, regular CSS. You don't have to remember all the different classes. It's just accordion, accordion item. That's it. And all of the logic has been worked out for you. And as you can see, there are a bunch of different options that you can use. And next, we're gonna work on our menu. So I don't like the style of menu that we have here up top. It's kind of cluttered and just I don't like it. So let's create a, we're gonna create an off-canvas element with our menu. And I'm gonna call that main menu. And so we're gonna have a link up here that's gonna lead to main menu. Right over here. And now we're gonna create the menu. If you're gonna make an off-canvas, make sure that it's up top. That way it pushes off the rest of the page when it slides in. Otherwise it'll act more like a panel if you put it like at the bottom of the page. What did I call it? Main menu. Cool. ZF off canvas. By the way, the declaration here I'm using is element. You can also use an attribute, so you could do div ZF off canvas. And I'm going to use a block list for this as well. I like the way the sidebar here looks like, so I kind of want to mimic that. So I'm going to do section, class, block, list, header, menu. It's our menu. And here I'm going to use the UE router directive UEsref active. What UEsref active does is if you have a UEsref element as a child and the page is active, it'll apply this specific class here. So whenever this UEsref is active, right over here, this directive will add is active to our list element. So the first one will be obviously home. We're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. The second one will be FAQ. And that's pretty much all I'm going to be building out. So, section. So this should work as is. Cool, so we have our menu here. Nice, I like that. Oh, I used a ZF open. That means that it's just gonna open the element. What I want is a toggle. So there are some cool helpers that Foundation for Apps uses. There's open hard toggle, which closes all open elements and opens the one that you have a target as, and then you have a ZF close, ZF open. And I like this. This is our menu. Cool. See, and it adds is active class, but it's not really working. You know what? It's probably because I'm using this wrong. Let me use the markup right over here instead of the block list. Maybe there's a menu bar. No, that's not it. Title bar. Nope. Off canvas menu. Okay, so no, that's not it either. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this. I will make this a block list, but I'll make this a menu bar vertical. And let's see if that works. I feel like I used something else in my other projects and it worked. It still works, but I would like to use what I used before because that was pretty awesome. Block list, price list. So I did something that is kind of bad. The reason it's bad is because I'm kind of mix and matching CSS that shouldn't go together. So I wanted to kind of add like some space in between. Yeah, I don't like that. Whatever. Okay, cool. So we have our menu. One more thing I'd like to change is make this top menu dark. As you can see, I'm using primary here, and you can pick from, I think, primary and dark. And yeah, that's better. That totally goes better with our entire Star Stream Analytics theme. Cool. I wonder if there's anything else I could do here. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So next, we're gonna go ahead and create a sign up. We want our users to be able to sign up. And what I'm gonna do for that is create a modal. And that modal will have like a sign up or a login column. Sorry, I just wanted to link the logo right here to home. It was bothering me. Anyway, so we're gonna do a ZF toggle, and it's gonna do a sign up modal, and it's gonna say sign up right over here. And under everything, we're gonna create a modal. So ZF modal. Now, modals are pretty awesome, and they have some awesome options to it. So you can have a modal that's kind of regular like this. When you click on the dark, it'll disappear. Oh, I guess there's a little bug. You can have a modal that doesn't have any background. And I wonder what's going on there. Whatever. Oh, you know what? That's a bug that's been fixed, hasn't been pushed out into the docs. Anyway. So there are some options that we can use. I'm gonna go ahead and use overlay close. So overlay close will make sure that whenever you click on that dark part around the modal, it'll close. And I'm gonna set that to true. and it'll enable the overlay as well. And we're going to call this the sign up modal. The Foundation for Apps API, the Foundation API, works on IDs. So whenever you do a ZF toggle, it uses like a pub subsystem to find a modal with that ID that registers itself and tell it like, oh, close or open. So this is what we're doing here. I want to have a kind of nice looking modal. I use some cool CSS for that. Yeah, I use the grid block. Okay, so I'm going to do div class grid block, and I'm going to do medium up to, and I'm going to do div class grid content. We're going to have a 2-column layout, and one of them is going to be a sign up, and the other one is going to be a sign in. So we're going to create a form. The form's not going to work, obviously. I don't have time to create a controller. We're going to call this a username, input text, and then we're going to have a password. And we're going to do password again, since this is going to be sign up. And lastly, we're going to create a button that's going to lead to our backend area. So since we're not actually implementing any form logic, we might as well just allow the user to basically click on sign up or sign in, and it just takes them there automatically. No actual logic behind it. So we're going to take them to a page that I haven't created yet called dashboard, and we're also going to do ZF close. So sign up. So whenever a user clicks on that link, it'll not only take them to your dashboard, but it'll close out the modal as well. Since we're on a single page app, you can't things aren't just going to automatically close for you. And we're going to use that same structure. It's going to be sign in. We don't need a second password. And it's going to say sign in. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it's kind of simple. Let's create and so yeah, so you can do all kinds of cool stuff like that. You can reference links, use within a modal. You can create title bars and use all these other CSS components inside of a modal. And that kind of makes it nice, because then you can put the sign up and sign in next to each other. You could probably put tabs as well, have a tab that says sign up and sign in. I know some sites do that. And yeah, so that's kind of cool for prototyping. We're going to make all these buttons. All right, let's create a dashboard page. Our dashboard page is going to look a little bit different than others. It's going to be a dashboard title, name dashboard, and URL is going to be dashboard. And we need to inform the user that they're at the dashboard. And we're going to create tabs. Let's create tabs. You know what? Before that, I want to do something cool. Since when a user signs in, they want to see something. They wanted their page to look a little bit different. Like if you ever noticed, most websites that are very backend driven or app driven, they require you to sign up first. They have like a different front end that's kind of more marketing. The back end is a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and do that to kind of warn the user like, hey, you're in a restricted area. So we're going to create a small hero. So we're going to do a class dash hero. And we're going to carry our theme of our star stream, whatever the hell, analytics. That hero dash. And we're going to do an H2. Our H2 is going to be white. And we're going to make sure that the height of this is... let's not do height, let's do padding. Will be 25 15 pixels, 25 pixels, that might be good, and background will be this. I switched to a different Vim terminal while the linter's doing its work. I really gotta disable it because JRuby is way too slow to use it for linting. Anyway, let's change the 3 to a 2, and we'll have a nice hero element. So let's do, what do I want to do? ZF item tabs. That's what I wanted to do. So the syntax for that is pretty easy as well. We're gonna have a main site since we have analytics. Yank paste, secondary, and aggregate. Cool. Let's get some libsim. Copy. Cool. Let's vary the libsim up so we know that it's working. 2. And last one. 2. And that should be looking pretty good right now. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh the page. Actually, one thing that I should point out is that whenever you add a new page, you may have to restart your gulp process. So go ahead and keep that in mind. I'm gonna apply a margin bottom to the hero dash. I've already built this, so I already know like some of the problems that I'm gonna encounter, like not naming things right. Cool, successfully built. Gonna go ahead and sign up and do a sign in, and I'm right here. Cool. All right, so this is our dashboard. Let me do it. I wonder how long I've been doing this. What time is it? What am I doing? No? Can't see? Okay. 5 pixels is definitely not enough. Let's do the 15. Alright. So, as you can see, this is kind of like a very quick way of changing things up and building a little bit of a prototype. I would like to continue making these videos. Maybe in the next one, I'd like to show you how to programmatically do some things, how to add controllers, maybe the directory structure, more of a tutorial on Foundation for Apps, not just showing off, what you can do with it. And I think a lot of users would like that. And so yeah, so you have a dashboard, you have your tabs, and you can, make this work into somewhat of a prototype to show you like, oh, hey, this is kind of how it's gonna work. We can still access our menu. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for the video. I had some other things in store that I wanted to do, but last time I did the video, I really messed up and I had to pretty much throw out a video because of it. So from this point on, I'm gonna add some things. You're welcome to not watch the video. I will screw up a lot, so it's just a warning, okay? So I'll see you guys for my next video. Oh, I actually wanted to show one more thing. This is where I got the stock photo from. I'm a huge fan of DeviantArt, so this is where I got my stock photo from, and it's open for you to use however you want to. I think the user really likes it if you actually post in like, hey, this is where I used it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. The link will be on the bottom right below the video. Go ahead and check it out. And if you want cliff notes on the video and don't feel like watching it, or well, I guess you'd be done watching it by now. But if you want some cliff notes for just referral, I will be posting this on my blog, and on my blog I usually have kind of the very, shortened bullet points of what this video was about. Anyway, so if you're still watching by now, I'm gonna go ahead and start making some changes and making things a little bit different. This is kind of unscripted and this is live coding. And one of the things I wanted to do is add notifications. I feel like every single dashboard should have notifications. What I'm going to go ahead and do is create a title bar. Yeah, there we go. Div class title bar. Span plus title left. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not going to make a title bar. I'm going to make a button. And it's going to be a toggle. Or it's going to be a ZF notify, actually. And class button alert. And it's going to be an iconic icon. I'd like to create like a notification that whenever you press on this button, it's supposed to be like a refresh, so it lets you know, oh, hey, your data has been refreshed. Some applications do implement that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So it's ZF iconic data source bower. No, it's not going to be bower components. Where is it? I think I have it under. Yeah, there we go. So that's my path to iconic icons. Assets, image, iconic. So the Foundation for Apps template is pretty cool because it like figures out all this stuff for you, and the gulp file is really solid. I highly recommend basing your own gulp file off it. Do you need to add the SVG? Yeah, you do. SVG. Let's see what this looks like. I think I need a little bit bigger. How do I make it this nice big? Iconic MD. Class. Iconic is really cool for providing these. Oh, that's really big. Whatever, I'll keep it. It's nice. I'm really glad Iconic provided all these cool icons to use with Foundation for free. They have an entire, I think, set, and you can go ahead and buy it or subscribe to it. I don't entirely know how it works, but they have a lot of cool icons. So we're using ZF Notify, and let's look at the notification docs. We're going to use a dynamic notification. There are two different notifications. There's a static one, which is basically the equivalent of making a modal or something like that. So it's on the page and it already has a message and you just toggle it to show up or close. The dynamic one is more akin to like what you would be used to with actual notifications. You basically just have to declare it. Declare a notification set with an ID. And it'll keep a collection of notifications right there. And so whenever you post to it with a ZF Notify, which is kind of like a helper to a helper that does a programmatical publish to the ZF notification set, it'll just add to the collection and show the notification. So the notification set is pretty much meant to be used with like a controller or a service or something. It's not really supposed to be alone. But I did create a helper for those that kind of want to try it out and don't entirely want to invest into building a controller. Analytics. Reload. Content. Refresh. Done. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, our ZF Notify is supposed to equal dash notification. Oops. And let's see how this looks. Cool. Analytics reload, refresh done. Sweet. Happy about that. Cool. Yeah, so we got that. We got notifications running. Wonder what else we can do. Perhaps it would be cool to have an action sheet with like some options of what you can do. So let's create an action sheet. And I kind of like this icon idea, so I'm gonna go ahead and create an action sheet with icons in it, or that's triggerable. You can trigger it with an icon. I would love to have like a whole list of icons here with all our options. So there are two directives that you can use inside of the ZF action sheet. There is ZF AS button. Which is going to be the button itself. Settings. And content. ZF AS content. Position is going to be bottom. And we're going to create another list. Settings, or profile. Settings. And these could be all pages that we can build out and make them have them, what am I trying to say? We can build out and actually link back to them and log out. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, cool. And let's have it show up on the right. Let's see if we can do that. Float right, I believe, is the correct. Yeah, there we go. So we have settings. I don't like that. I don't like that. Cool. Now I wonder if we can add an icon on the inside. So instead of settings, we can have like a cogwheel. I'm gonna go ahead and check out the bar components. What's cool is that the way everything's structured is pretty easy to actually look into the code and understand what's happening. So we have an action sheet. Let's see, action sheet HTML. Let's do a button. So the button will actually transclude all our content, but it's not in the right place. I don't like that. So here's what we can do. If we set the title to null, there's no title, we can go ahead and use this transclude part. So what we can do is set this to nothing. And here we can add our actual button. So I'm going to go ahead and have a button. Oh, why are you doing this to me? And it's going to be an iconic button. Iconic data source. And so do we have a cog? Yeah, we have a cog. Sweet. Assets, image, iconic, cog, SVG, class, iconic, MD. Self-closing, A. Let's see what this looks like. Huh? What did I do wrong? It's not a button. Class button. And let's make it a success so that's green. Because I like green. Cool. Isn't that awesome? Right, guys? Just refresh my analytics. I'm going to go ahead and log out. Let's have that logout actually point somewhere. Let's have that point to the home page. Home. Why am I doing this? Just so I can demonstrate the functionality. Cool. So, oh, you know what? These cards. Let's get those hooked up as well. So you remember how I told you that you can use this ZF open to open modals and whatever? That's kind of like a utility. Well, you can use them from anywhere on the page. And we are going to use them from home. Even though the modal is not here, it's still going to send a message. Cool thing is that even if you publish to a non-existent element, it's not going to throw an error. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. But you know, depending on how your directives load up, sometimes they'll publish something and nobody's going to be there to hear it. That's totally fine. So it's going to be silent. Cool thing is, the next time you publish, it's going to work. And we're going to do ZF open, and I think it was called a sign up modal. And let's see how that works. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Antonin, hello, and sign in. Cool. I don't want to log out. I want to refresh my analytics, secondary site aggregate, and let's try to check out the FAQ. Cool. So as you can see, without touching a bit of Angular, you can do some really cool stuff, or you know, bit of like controllers and Angular, actual JavaScript. You can do some cool stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope that when I save and close this, that it's gonna have normal volume and that I can post this. If not, I'm not making another video again. Yeah, if you guys want, you can go ahead and tweet me or follow me on my Twitter and ask me questions. Sometimes I don't get back to you. Sometimes I'm really flaky. I have a lot of stuff going on, but I'll try to get back to you. If you have some issues with Foundation for apps, make sure to get on the actual repo and open up an issue. I can either refer you to a fix, try to fix it for you, or I'll try to refer somebody else who can fix the problem for you. Yeah, so and I'll see you guys later.